Welcome, everyone, to Real Estate on the Up, the podcast that takes you behind the scenes of the real estate world in Orlando. I'm your host, Kyle Madorin, and on this show, we're all about pulling back the curtain with the unfiltered truth about real estate. We're not just here to sell houses. We're here to provide concierge-style service because everyone loves being treated like a VIP. This podcast is your go-to resource for transparency, integrity, and the knowledge you need to make smarter real estate decisions. Whether you're a seasoned investor or a first-time homebuyer, we've got you covered. So buckle up and get ready to move up in the world of real estate. It's time for Real Estate on the Up. Patricia Tanner is a real estate developer and broker associate with LPT Realty. She's been in the industry for almost a decade and has her own brokerage at times. She was a brokerage owner and also started her own nonprofit organization. So she brings a huge wealth of knowledge to our chat today. So without further ado, let's bring her on and let her fill in those gaps and introduce herself a little bit. Here she is, Patricia Tanner.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. My name is
My
Patricia
pleasure.
Tanner. I was born and raised in Sanford, Florida. So I still live here. So how many Florida natives still live actually where they are?
That is rare.
So exactly. In my community, I used to be a real estate, like you said, a broker owner, and I decided to hang my license with LPT Realty and became a broker associate. What I do now is I build houses from the ground up and I sell the houses here in my community for affordable pricing because we don't see those prices nowadays, right? I also have a property management company and I have done that for 30 plus years doing property management. So I help a lot of people with rentals. Everybody knows me to call me for rentals and things of that sort. And I have a very new creation, and you probably didn't see this, but it just came out in January. I really haven't done a lot of advertising with it, but I just created a real estate board game.
Wow, that is amazing.
Yes. Yeah, it's
Tell us
called
more
Get
about that.
Real
Now that
Estate.
is a first for this show, so I need
Yes.
to know more.
Okay. So I've been in real estate for a very long time. Back in 2015, when I came across my very first listing, I knew nothing about real estate. I self-taught myself. I hung my license under a broker for 2 years and really didn't practice real estate because I was working under an owner developer that was building apartment complexes from the ground up, right? I got a real estate license hoping that I could sell his $1 million communities, but he knew I didn't have the experience. I decided to become a broker. That's when I went to school, not realizing I was there a year and 6 months. And the teacher told me that I had to wait another 6 months in order to take the state exam. I took that challenge and I just took the class, waited, took the state passed, became a real estate broker. So nobody taught me how to do contracts, how to sell houses. I knew nothing about being an agent, a buyer's agent, a seller agent. I did not know any of those things. I just kind of immersed myself at Aura and took as many courses as I could. And that's for those that are not local. That's just a real estate organization in Orlando, Florida that I belong to. So long story short, with all this wealth of knowledge, property management, real estate, I created a board game. So the board game is called Get Real Established. It helps first-time home buyers, understand the process of home buying, and it takes that lack of fear out of them because they don't know what to do. So the lender is in charge of the board game. The lender is the one that calls all the shots, and you can get a loan or you can use the money that I start you out with, right? And there's checks in the game that you can write for different things, commission, agents get commission. So the sellers can learn and understand what is a commission. What does that mean? There's closing costs on the board so they can understand that the price of a home, it don't stop there. There's closing costs around the board as well. So I have a copy of the game. It's right here and it's Get Real Established. Yay. Yep. So
I love it. Oh my gosh, that is amazing.
Yes, thank you.
Wow, how amazing is that? I love the idea and the passion behind it because it's true. A lot of people don't ever get into home ownership simply because the process seems so daunting. They don't even know where to start. And I think this is fantastic. I certainly am really passionate about ownership, getting as many people into ownership as possible, because it's such a great way to build wealth for
Yes.
generations to come. And I think that this is a great way to teach people who might
Yeah.
find it, a little scary or not know where to begin.
Uh-huh.
Wow, how cool is that? I love it.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Uh,
So you have done so many different things. Tell
mhm.
us about your nonprofit organization that you started.
Well, my nonprofit is called Stones to Homes. And when I created this many years ago, the idea was to help people understand the process of home buying, whether that's knowing what your credit looks like, what it takes for your credit to be a certain score in order to qualify for a home, how much money to save, looking at debt to income ratios, and really digest how to become a homeowner. And that's pretty much what my affordable housing plan was for my community and people that just are interested in the home buying process. So I hook them up with different organizations and connect them so that they can be successful to become a homeowner in their next steps or their dream to become one.
Gotcha. No, that's it's so this all intertwines everything that you're
Yes.
looking to do. And obviously property management as well plays a role in
Yes.
this for investors. And tell us a little bit about how you decided to embark in that direction and how that plays into the other things that you do as a broker associate and developer.
Okay, so pretty much I have 30 years of property management experience. So again, I was regional over many apartment communities. So when I became a broker, I had a lot of investors that follow me. I landed my first listing and that was $1 million listing. I did not know how to sell $1 million home. So the seller I was working with, she was very passionate about what I was doing. And, she liked the idea that I was trying. So she said, "Hey, Patricia, I'm going to give it a shot." I tried to work with seasoned, vested real estate agents, brokers, what have you, and list my home. They couldn't sell it. So I went and I listed that home, and in 30 days, I sold that $1 million home. So it's just the drive that I have and the passion I have for it. And that helped me sell that home. I have a lot of investors that were following me, and they knew what I was doing and what I'm capable of. And so they reached out to me and said, "Patricia, I'm buying homes in Florida. And is there any way I can hold my homes and then you can help me rent them out?" So I offer property management services. And what that means is that the owners, they collect the rent, they do everything, and I'm just the middleman. I'm just here to make sure there's a smooth transition going on so that they can get their money and all the laws are followed as far as tenant and landlord.
Yeah, it's great to have a property manager that you trust if you're an investor. It
Yeah.
makes life so much easier for you if you have rental properties to not have to worry about those details and let an expert take care of tenant screening and, those
Correct.
calls that occur in the middle of the night when a toilet's
Yeah.
not flushing and things
Yeah.
like that. So that's great. And it's amazing that you've been able to take that aspect of like that was your first step in this real estate journey, it sounds like,
Yeah.
and then transport yourself or propel yourself into doing
Yeah.
all these other things. It's a
Yeah.
pretty amazing journey.
Yes. And I think in this industry, we need many hats because I believe in not putting all your eggs in one basket. Right now, the way the economy is going, and I know we're going to talk about that maybe later on, but you need to be doing multiple things. So not only do I help people buy and sell, but I also have my own investments. I'm an investor as well, and I help people invest here in Florida. And then I got my real estate board game going on, and I'm building homes from the ground up.
Very good. Very good. Yeah, you mentioned some of the changes and challenges that are going on in the industry because things are changing rapidly and it's a far different environment today than we were in just a few years ago.
Right.
So, looking back over your career, because you've done so many different things in the business, what are some challenges, setbacks you've had, and how have those impacted where you are today?
Well, to be honest, I was raised by a strong dad that always taught me to invest in like 401ks and put all your money when I was in corporate America, put all your money in 401k. So I really set myself up to position myself to become an entrepreneur, to become a real estate broker back in 2015. and I transitioned myself to be financially set. And I know a lot of people don't do that today. So most of my challenges are the ones that don't listen. I'm the expert. You have to listen to me. And a lot of times they want to do what they want to do and it won't work out. Then they'll come back and I'll say, I told you so, So the failure is not on me, it's on them. Because if they listen to what I say, then it will work out for their good. We don't always get what we want, you know what I mean? And a lot of times
Absolutely.
things won't go our way. But I like to sit here and position people and let them know that, hey, if this is not the opportunity, another one is coming, but you have to stay strong and you have to believe that it will happen. So they got to listen to me. And that's my challenge. They just don't listen.
It makes such a difference when you have a professional by your side who understands your goals, the challenges, is an expert problem solver who can help you get over those hurdles and move on to the next step successfully. It is so, so important. And I think that's one of the things I'm always shocked when I see buyers or sellers trying to do this by themselves without an expert's help, because we do this every day and still doing it every day. There's challenges that occur that are sometimes very difficult to address, and it takes creativity, it takes knowledge and experience to be able to do that. And no, I agree with you. I think one of the biggest challenges is, and this is not just in real estate but in the world in general today, people think if they go online and do a little Googling that they can find the answers and know, what to do to fix it. And that's not always the case, especially in these challenging circumstances.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So in the world we're in right now, there's obviously been a lot of changes. And as you were saying, there's certain frustrations and things that occur as an industry professional. So as a leader in your field, how do you stay motivated and continue to innovate and have a passion for what you do every day?
Well, I'm just driven. I wake up, the first thing I do is pray every single morning. I worship, I am a believer, and I just keep myself motivated. I don't let the world and the obstacles come upon me and weigh heavy on me. So whatever my focus is, I stay focused and nothing can take me off that. I'm driven, I'm focused, and I strive for whatever I need to do. I mean, this board game, believe it or not, it's this thing right here. This was my blood, sweat, and tears. And when I created this game, it really took me about 2 months, to be honest with you, to do everything, just to come up with the mental and to do everything I'm doing as well, still staying abreast on everything I got going on, and plus creating things outside of that. I am an author too. I didn't tell you that of 4
Wow.
books. Yeah. So I did that as well, but you just got to stay focused. And a lot of people don't have the patience as well. So a lot of times when they get stressed or they're struggling, they just lose patience and they won't finish. So that's one of my strong points. I have a lot of patience. I am a believer. I know that I can accomplish it. And that's one of the things that makes me successful.
Yeah, patience is definitely key. And I think you need patience, certainly if you're an agent or a broker, but if you're a buyer or seller as well, sometimes we all want things to happen quickly. We want results right now, but sometimes it does take time, especially if you're a buyer. First-time home buyers fall into this group quite often where the timing might not be quite right. Maybe you have to get your credit in order to make that purchase. There's steps that need to occur. And sometimes it takes a little bit of patience and you can't get frustrated and just throw in the towel and quit. You have to keep moving forward.
You do.
Yeah.
Yes, I totally agree. And that's one of the things, like right now in the industry we are in, there's homes that are sitting on the market and these sellers don't understand it. They're so used to thinking about what happened a year ago and why my home isn't moving fast enough. And when I told you in the beginning that, listen, you need to stage this home. We are in different times, it's not the same anymore. And then they question, well, how many websites am I on? Are you kidding me? We are the ones that list the home that allow the internet to explode on other websites. And that's what they don't realize. But the market is not the same. They just need to understand and to have patience that it will sell. It just needs to be the right buyer coming along. And now people are picky and choosy.
It's true. This is a
Yeah,
different marketplace. There are fewer buyers shopping. The inventory is climbing. And so
correct.
properties will not sell as fast as they did
Yes,
over those COVID years, which were such an anomaly. So it is a
correct.
vastly different market now. And I think it is taking time for sellers to realize that things are different. They
Yes.
can't look at what their neighbor did 2 years ago
Yeah,
and think that's going to be
exactly.
exactly what they can accomplish today. It's totally different.
Yes.
You mentioned technology and the role in terms of websites and advertising and things. Technology certainly plays a huge role in what we do every day, and it sounds like in your business as well. So, how have you embraced technology, and what sort of things do you incorporate for your customers?
Yeah, it's funny that I may look cute, but and young, but this is something I had to grow into, the whole social media realm. It became overwhelming at some point for me, but just sitting down and just texting or posting every single day on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. It is overwhelming, and those things can be distracting. I had to take a break from that because if you cannot control how you work on social media, it can overwhelm everything you're doing. And before you know it, you will lose time and you will lose focus because hours would go by and you're still posting one thing. So I just had to adjust to it. The wave now is social media. People are on social media. They're looking for houses, they're looking for rental properties, they're looking for the next best investment. And social media has all these groups now that you join, that you can put fillers out, and now people are responding to you. So you have to be well known out there on the World Wide Web. I know a lot of people say, I don't do Instagram, I don't do Facebook, I don't do that. But trust me, it's going to make your life a lot easier because in the industry of real estate, word of mouth is what sells the property. Word of mouth is what travels. So if you can reach one person on social media, they're sharing the information with other people, and that's the way of the world.
Yeah, I agree. Even though not all agents like it, it's a necessity. You have to be
Yes.
visible there in order to achieve success for your customers. It's not all about us. I think there are certainly agents out there that want to be, influencers. They want to be social media celebrities. But even if that's not your goal, it's important to have a presence and to show your professionalism, to showcase what you do. And I think that everyone does need to embrace that. I think that's very, very important. So, yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly that it can get overwhelming. It can feel like, oh my gosh, I'm spending more time working on this video post than I'm spending
Yes.
talking to my customers selling homes. But it's something that agents need to embrace and learn. And that is somewhat challenging for some older agents.
It is. And it took me a while to understand how to do the videos, how to get it right. But once you get it right, you just set up a system and a system that works for you. And then that's it. And that's what I live by. And that's what makes me successful. I live by systems, and my systems work for me. And it will work for them because they could see my process. My success speaks for itself.
Yeah, and you certainly have to be organized with how many different things you do. If you weren't organized and
Yeah,
didn't have systems, there's no way you could wear all these different hats and do
correct.
all these different things.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
yeah, and I can understand that completely.
Yes.
We get a lot of questions from people about what is going to happen in the years to come because we've seen so many changes over the last few years. So many people in the public, whether they're buyers or sellers or investors, want to know what we foresee occurring in the industry in the years to come. So, what trends do you foresee happening, and how do you prepare yourself and your clients for these changes?
Well, what I see is I don't like the way the banks are lending to these buyers. I don't like how they're doing the 1, 2, 3 buy downs because they're giving them expectations that when they go to buy a house, that this is your payment. And then it's going to eventually climb over the years. So they're saying, like, right now, we can buy down your rate and this is what it's going to look like. But then over the years, I feel like I don't know how many loans that they're doing like that, but it reminds me years ago when they had these arms and when the industry just blew up and all these houses were going in foreclosure. And let's just face it, the economy alone is just not good at all. Food prices are ridiculous, rents are sky high. It's hard to get houses to actually qualify financially for $400,000. That's what we're looking at. The median income to buy a house is like 400 grand. I mean, that's a lot for one person working in this industry.
It is.
So
it's expensive.
Yes, it's very expensive. So what I see now is that I feel like if we don't get this economy, if this government or this presidency don't get this economy under control, it's just going to blow up in the future.
We
just
definitely all want interest rates to come down. There's no doubt about that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you're absolutely right with these programs that exist now. Buyers really need to understand that their rate is that final rate. When that climbs, they need to understand that's really what they need to afford. They're getting a perk, a benefit for a couple of years to be able to make things a little more comfortable, but they need to understand where they're going to be and anticipate that. It's so important because, like you were saying, that we experienced with those adjustable rate mortgages years ago, if you're not prepared for that, in the end, we're going to be in trouble. And luckily, with the ARMs, there was no ceiling. Like it could keep climbing.
Yeah.
So we're not quite in that same circumstance now, but it is really important that buyers are educated and they understand what they're facing.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I want to wrap up by giving people an opportunity to reach out to you. Number one, just so we all aware, it's Get Real Established. Is that the name of the game again?
It's Real Established. So the
Real Established. Get Real Established.
Get Real Established. So Get Real Established. Yes, sir.
That is the board game, everyone.
That is
definitely. And where can they find that if they want to buy it? Where is that available?
Well, you can go to my website. It's www.patriciatanner.com. But I do have a website for the board game. It's established.com. So either way, you'll find it.
That is amazing. And is that the best way, if anyone wants to reach out to you and has additional questions or needs help, what's the best way for them to contact you?
They can contact me on my cell phone. I'll just give it to them. I always answer my phone, and I'm not the type of person that don't return calls or too busy. I always answer my phone. So that number is 407-221-2522. And I'm also on all social media platforms under Patricia Tanner. So you can find me under Facebook, Instagram, TikTok under Patricia Tanner.
That is amazing. Patricia Tanner, thank you so much for your time today. This was amazing. It's totally enlightening. You do so many different things, and it's really amazing to see someone who's got such a passion for what they do and brings all of this to the industry. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. And thank you everyone for listening. Have a great day. As we conclude another eye-opening episode of Real Estate on the Up, I want to express my appreciation for joining us. Thank you for being a valuable part of the Real Estate on the Up community. Your time and engagement mean the world, so make sure you subscribe and leave a review. Your real estate goals are my priority, and my team and I are here to provide the personalized attention and service that have earned us high recognition. If you have questions, need guidance, or are ready to make a move, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm just a message away. I'm Kyle Madorin, one of Rate My Agent's top 100 in the United States, signing off. Until next time, take care and make those real estate dreams a reality.